Hey friend, Chris here from Logic Pro Rules, the website and channel that helps you get the most you can out of Apple's Logic Pro. Welcome to the third and final installment this week, all about getting started with the Focusrite 4th generation Scarlett and Logic Pro. This is in collaboration with Focusrite, and in today's video, we're going to get set up to record some multi-track drums. But to do that, we need to get familiar with the routing capabilities of the 18920 4th generation Scarlett that I have here in my studio, the Talkback microphone capabilities, the built-in software mixer, and even the Focusrite Control app for iOS and iPadOS. I hope you can see through this series, there is so much on tap for you here with the Scarlett series of interfaces from Focusrite. I'm really loving my experience with them. So let's get right to it. To get started with routing with the Scarlett interfaces, we're going to take a look at the Focusrite Control 2 app on my Mac here. Now again, I've been using the 18920 version of the 4th generation Scarlett interfaces throughout this video series. I only point this out because depending on which Scarlett 4th generation interface you decide to purchase, your experience with the Focusrite Control 2 app might be a little different. But as you can see on screen, there are 3 different views to this app. Currently, I'm focused in on the Inputs tab. So you can see analog inputs 1 through 8. These are the built-in preamps of the 18920, which provides direct control over every aspect of the inputs, from manually setting preamp gain to the auto gain feature, phantom power, clip safe, and enabling the 2 air modes. You can also see on screen that Focusrite conveniently provides a set of Loopback inputs as well with the Scarlett interfaces. Loopback is an amazing feature that allows you to route audio from anywhere on your Mac system through the set of inputs that you can then record into Logic Pro or any other application. Plus, depending on how you have the 18920 set up, you can have up to 16 ADAT inputs as well. The second tab is the Mixer tab. The Mixer tab provides near zero latency monitoring as you record. And with the 18920, there are 6 software mixers for you to use. So imagine that you're recording a whole band. Vocals, drums, 2 guitarists, a bass player, even a key player, and they each need their own headphone mix. With software mixers A through F, you can provide everyone in the band with their own specific headphone mix. And each player could even take control of their own headphone mix using the Focusrite Control app for iPhone and iPad. You simply download the Focusrite Control app from the App Store and follow the on-screen instructions to get that device set up with Focusrite Control on the Mac. And as you can see on screen, there's a channel strip with panning, faders, mute, and solo for all 8 analog inputs, plus channel strips for SPDIF and the ADAT inputs. The third tab is the Routing tab, and it amazes me how much the Scarlett interfaces have in terms of routing capabilities, especially for the price tag. For starters, at the top we have monitor groups, which allows you to assign any set of outputs or all outputs of the 18920 to be controlled from the monitor control section. So I could assign all 10 outputs of the 18920 to be part of a monitor group. So if you're working with a 5.1 system, 7.1, or in this case, if you're trying to get into Atmos, you could have as many as 5.1.4 or 10 speakers connected and controlled with the Scarlett. So I can control all 10 speakers using this one output control knob. I could dim and mute all 10 outputs simultaneously. Plus, you can even adjust the level of each output as a stereo pair or individually by setting the outputs to mono. All this to say you have this fine-tuned control over every output of the Scarlett. Plus, you can even assign an alt monitor group, even if you're using all 10 outputs. We could assign output 3 and 4 here to playback 1 and 2, so I could switch between my main stereo pair of speakers and my alt set of speakers so I can get a sense of how my mix might sound on 2 separate systems. But you could also use outputs 3 through 10 to send audio to another device, like external outboard or let's say a headphone amp. So I could assign each set of these outputs to receive its signal either directly from the analog inputs or the many different playback channels or directly from a digital set of inputs, as well as the different software mixers of the Scarlett. In this case, I'll assign outputs 3 and 4 to mix A, outputs 5 and 6 to mix B, mix C for outputs 7 and 8, and mix D for outputs 9 and 10. And of course, we have the 2 headphone outputs. This way, I can send 4 different mixes out of 4 sets of outputs to 4 different headphone amps, and I could even use the headphone amps on the 18920. In this case, I'll assign headphone 1 to mix E and headphone output 2 to mix F. So again, with the 18920, I have the ability to assign up to 6 different software mixers for 6 different headphone mixes that can be controlled by each member of a band using an iPhone or iPad. Plus, there are the digital outputs and the loopback channels that can be assigned as well for the Scarlett. Now, before we set up preamp levels and start sound checking, my drummer is going to need some communication from me. He's going to have to be able to hear me through his headphones. So I'm going to go to the settings button in the upper right-hand corner of the Focusrite Control 2 app and go down to preferences. In the menu that pops up, I'm going to click on the device tab. In this tab, you can actually specify which software mixers will receive signal from the Talkback microphone when engaged. In this case, I'm going to just enable it for all of the mixers, mix A through F. This way, it doesn't matter which mixer someone's using, they'll always be able to hear me through the Talkback mic on the hardware. And I'll click on the talk button to see if we see any signal from the Talkback mic through the Mix A channel strip all the way to the right-hand side. Again, every aspect of the 18920 can be controlled from the Mac. You don't necessarily have to use the hardware, but the difference here is if you press the talk button on the interface, the Talkback mic is only engaged for the time that you're holding the talk button. But in Focusrite Control 2, when you click on the talk button, the Talkback mic is active until you click on the talk button again. All right, my drummer's headphone amp is receiving signal from Mixer A, and we know the Talkback mic is active for Mixer A. At this point, once again, just like in video 2, I need to set preamp levels for every channel that we're going to record. For this recording session, I'm going to once again use auto gain to set the preamp gain for every channel. But this time we have 7 microphones set up, not just one. So I'll need to enable auto gain for multiple channels. So I'll click on the drop-down menu for one of the auto gain buttons. This will reveal 2 other options for auto gain all and auto gain for multiple. I'll select multiple. All right, so we get this pop-up dialog asking to choose which channels you'd like to set with auto gain. I'll go ahead and select channels 1 through 7. Once my channels are selected, my drummer just needs to play for 10 seconds to set the preamp gain for every channel. Here we go. Just like that, every channel of this drum kit is set and ready to go. Now, just to be safe, we are talking about a drum kit, and my drummer could play quite loud for a fill or something. I'll also enable clip safe for each channel. Right, so now my drummer's ready to go. We have the preamp level set. He can customize his own headphone mix using his iPhone and Mixer A. And once he's ready, I'll hit record. Just like that, it was a cinch recording multi-track drums, and we were able to do everything with the 18920 Scarlett Generation 4 interface, from routing audio to the outputs to a headphone amp, setting up Talkback, giving my drummer his own software mixer that he could customize with his own device, and then we were able to set gain for every one of the channels using the auto gain feature. It was amazing. So I hope this series has been helpful for you, and I hope you enjoy the Scarlett Generation 4 interfaces as much as I do. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.